So I have this list of things that I think of off the top of my head of what the code of the streets are. It's not a manual of the code of the streets. This is just what I'm speaking about in this episode. There are far more things that I'm not going to discuss that should be on this list, but just for the sake of this podcast episode, these are the things that are on this list. The first thing I think about is sparing women and children. That used to be the number one code of the streets, is that no matter what you got going on with who, you don't involve women and children. You don't harm women and children. You don't bring women and children into um, a verbal altercation. You just don't involve women and children. They are innocent bystanders, and you keep them away from all those things. That's coming from the person if you are not the aggressor, and a person if you are the I guess we're gonna say the personal defense, and a person that's the aggressor. You just keep women and children out of it. If women and children are present, you handle it another time. I know we've seen over the years so many instances to where women and children have not been spared. There's this unfortunate incident that happened, I want to say, within the last month, and I'm pretty sure you all heard the story. And if you have not, you can go look it up. To where there was a local rapper in Texas. I don't remember what city it was. I want to say it was probably Dallas, but and I don't even know what the backstory is, and the backstory don't even matter. But what is believed is that this local rapper had some tension or some beef with some people locally. And one day, him and his young daughter, 6-year-old daughter, were at a car wash, and said dude he was having problems, said people he was having problems with either followed him or got the drop on him at this car wash. They then proceeded, and this is broad daylight, they then proceeded to hop out of their car at the car wash and literally execute this man and unfortunately take the life of his young daughter. If there were any code of the streets today, that wouldn't have happened. It would have been, oh, I want to do this, but we just have to catch him at another time. Or maybe, and I'm not going to go into that. We just had to catch him at another time. And again, this is not me encouraging people to do that, but this is the world we used to live in. This is the world of the people I grew up around. This is how they operated. In 2025, those things are no longer. If your wife is with you, if your kids was with you, and we are having a back and forth, I'm going to go after you. And that's what I'm going to do. And that's that. And I'm prefacing this by saying I'm not a person of the street life. And that's part of the reason why I'm not part of the street life, because I'm going to be very honest with y'all. I'm vindictive as hell. I hold a grudge. I don't know how to let things go. So I can imagine that had I had been somebody who didn't go down the route that I went and I ended up in the streets, I can't imagine you telling me that I have to wait to do something just because certain people are present. I want to take my gamble and hope that I don't cause harm to the people I'm not supposed to cause harm to. But if the opportunity presents itself, I'm going to take that gamble. And that's not the way that you should think. But this is why I'm saying I'm glad that that's not the route that I went down, because that's how I operate. And that is completely not okay. A lot of times people get disciplined when they do things, or a lot of times people did get disciplined when they did things like that. That's not happening today, because these young kids, not even just young kids, people around my age, they're operating just, they're going rogue. They're operating solo. They don't care. They deal with the consequences after. And that is very unfortunate, but that is one of the codes of the streets that is not being followed. Another code of the streets that, made up things in the past was don't snitch. I'm not going to go too deep in that because I had a whole episode where we spoke about it. If you have not heard it or seen it, go back to season 5 and listen to episode 125. It's an episode called Snitch. Sorry, nigga, I'm trying to come home. Go back and listen to that, because I broke that down, I feel like, very, very thoroughly. But essentially, we're not following that anymore. People are not only snitching on other people are snitching on themselves, which brings me to my next point, and not broadcasting everything you do. Now, when I said there are certain things that I've seen or adapted or watched and brought into my life, this is one of those things. Like, for the sense of safety, for the sense of not portraying yourself a certain way, for the sense of people not generating narratives about you, you just don't broadcast everything you do. And in terms of safety, if I'm going out to the club and I know I got ongoing beef with somebody, me on Friday night tagging whatever club I'm in is not the smartest thing to do. Because if I'm in a club, I'm probably drinking, I'm probably having a good time. My guard is probably down. However, I'm broadcasting where I'm at, and the people that's looking for me now knows where I'm at. So now I'm broadcasting where I'm at. And that's like one of the most extreme versions of why you shouldn't broadcast.